On tap, BBC Nut Brown Ale. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we're talking about BBC Nut Brown Ale from the Bluegrass Brewing Company in Louisville, Kentucky. This is an English brown ale with 4.9% ABV and 29 IBUs. The company claims it has a diverse grain bill of pale, caramel, and dark malts to create a smooth, sweet malt profile with hints of roasted nuttiness. What is a grain bill? The grain bill is a list of grains used in the brewing process. Various types of malted barley make up the largest portion of these ingredients. However, the list can also include unmalted barley, wheat, rice, corn, rye, and oats. Each grain has distinct attributes that will affect the flavor, color, and character of the beer. The main purpose of these ingredients is to provide the starches which can be converted to sugars during mashing, which will then be turned into alcohol during fermentation. Scott, describe the look of this beer.
It looks like a mild coffee, kind of maybe a dark sun tea. Very amberish in color, very dark amber in color.
Are you feeling any carbonation in there?
I'm feeling a little. I mean, it's, again, nothing extraordinary. I mean, it just doesn't really stand out. There's nothing that really stands out about this beer. It's not extraordinary by any means.
Joby, would you drink this at the Kentucky Derby?
Of course I would.
Wouldn't you drink?
I would drink anything at the Kentucky Derby. Do you have tickets? You trying to tell me something here?
What kind of beer is this for you?
You know, I was pretty excited about this beer to start out with because I'm a dark beer drinker. I would classify myself as a dark beer drinker if I had a choice. But it's a nut brown ale, so it kind of throws you off. It's a dark beer, but it's yet a hoppy dark beer. So at first, you know, it has the coffee, chocolate taste like Scott was talking about, but it still has the hoppy aftertaste that, you know, is not too appealing for me because it is an ale.
Adam, just give us your rundown of the flavor.
Well, the overall flavor, I think I like it. It's a sweet, kind of chocolatey hoppiness to it. You got the coffee flavor going on. Definitely, I think it tastes like Nutella, where you got nutty, hoppy, chocolate, coffee, a whole mixture of flavors going on there. The only thing that I didn't like that kind of is a drawback to it is it's not as thick as your regular stout, but then again, it is an ale. It's a nut brown ale, so it's a dark ale. It does have a lot of flavor going on with it, but it is thin with the mouthfeel.
Scott, do you think this is a thin beer or a thick beer, somewhere in the middle?
I honestly think this beer is exactly what it's billed to be. It's a nut brown ale. It's kind of middle of the road. It's not thick. It's not thin. I mean, it's just an average ale. I would say that it's something that I would drink. You know, if it's available, I'll drink it. I mean, I'm not going to choose it over other beers by any means.
What kind of rating would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, because again, it's just, there's nothing that really stands out negatively about it, but it doesn't really have any positive.
But Scott, what did you write down here about how you described your beer?
I kind of described it like Joby, just a little bland. Doesn't have a whole lot to say to me. It just doesn't speak to me. But other than that, I mean, it's okay.
Joby?
Well, I actually have to agree with Scott with his rating. I also rank it a 6. Like I said, it's not bad. It's a darker beer, nut brown, has that nutty taste. It's not quite of a porter or a stout like Guinness or...
Well, that is why it's called an ale.
Exactly, it's why it's called an ale. It has that aftertaste. But like I said, I give it a 6, and you know what they say, when it's nut brown, you gotta drink her down.
That's what she said.
Well, do you think that as a stout drinker, you drink stouts typically, right? Don't you think that this has a little bit more flavor than a regular ale, like a pale ale or anything like that? It's got, I think it has the characteristics of a nice, fully flavored stout beer. The only drawback, like I said before, is that it's a little bit thin, but it still has that full flavor.
No, I agree. It definitely, given the choice between this or an Iowa or Indian Pale Ale,
yeah,
I would definitely choose this because it doesn't have quite the hoppy aftertaste that a pale ale does. But then again, it kind of throws you off because it's a dark beer. You're thinking you're going to get that thick, mouthfeel,
What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think that, as another stout drinker, I like to drink the stouts. I think there's a lot of flavor going on with it, and I could see myself drinking several of these and just sitting back. Again, the only drawback to it would be that it's a little bit thin. It doesn't have that coating that you get normally from a stout. But it's not a stout. It's an ale.
That gives BBC Nut Brown Ale a 6.7 on the BBA rating scale. Go watch the Kentucky Derby and let us know if this is your beer of choice in Louisville.
It's pronounced Louisville.
You can catch the Better Beer Authority in 3 great places on the web. At betterbeerauthority.com, on YouTube under the channel name Agile H Productions, and on our Facebook fan page. 3 great ways to get your BBA fix for the week. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority, Better Beer Authority, Better Beer Authority.
You gotta get your nose all the way in there.
Don't snort it. Yeah.